What is good, everybody? It's DJ Browder. You're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM, HD1 Raleigh. We're a student-run, nonprofit radio station based out of North Carolina State University. Today we got a special guest in the studio. It's Emilio Zapata.
Hey.
What's
How's
good?
it going? Good, man. Can't complain. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And we got some friends here, too. You all want to introduce yourselves?
Yeah, you go ahead, introduce yourselves.
Yes, sir. I'm Shaquan.
What's up, everybody?
What's
Harrison.
These
What's
are
up,
both of my two of my closest friends who quite literally probably heard the first anything that I've ever done. So I figured it's only right to make sure that they're
Some real ones, right?
Yeah,
Some real ones in here.
as real as it gets.
So let's start basics, Where y'all from?
I was actually not born in North Carolina. I was born in Long Island, New York. And my whole entire family kind of migrated down south.
Okay.
When I was pretty little. My grandmother had 7 kids, and my mom was the youngest out of those 7, which makes me the youngest cousin of like 30. You know what I mean? So I had a lot of older cousins and older influences always.
So how old is your oldest cousin?
Probably like 40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the youngest one is me. Actually, there's actually 2 new cousins that are the babies now, I guess. Yeah, and they're 11 or 12 and 9 or something like that. 8 or 9. Yeah. So I'm not the baby anymore. But
family first, man. Family first.
Yeah.
You guys are from Raleigh, right?
Yeah. So so once we came down here, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I kind of consider myself to be from North Carolina. This is where I learned how to do everything.
Mhm.
I was in. Yeah, right. Might as well be everything that I've learned, as far as like all of my influences. I learned in North Carolina. I learned probably how to write my name in North Carolina. So this is home. This is really where I consider myself to be from, and hopefully one day be able to bring a lot more light to, and be part of that whole push for NC.
I feel the same way, man. I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I love this place. I just want to do everything I can for it, and that's what we're here for, man.
Yeah, well, you're
Do the best
definitely
for
doing it, bro. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that I know personally speak highly of you guys in the station a lot, and so I mean, just the
Appreciate
fact
it.
that you have us here too definitely makes me excited to be a part of just more North Carolina stuff.
Absolutely, man. Respect all around.
Definitely.
Let's talk about music a little bit.
Okay, let's do it.
When did you start? Like, when did music start for you, man?
So, really, since I was like, as far as my memory probably goes back, I knew I always wanted to do something like, I don't know how you explain, maybe something like in entertainment or just, I don't know. I always had really big ambitions, and I knew that for a fact that there was no way in hell that I was going to be doing and had like a kind of regular job, or, you know what I mean? I always knew that there was something more. And so as I got older, it developed more and more and more. And I experienced a lot. Like, I tried a lot of different things, instruments, and I don't know. I tried to really get my foot in as much as I could at a young age to try to figure out. And, that's thanks to my mom, who, was really gave me the room to be able to do that and kind of figure out what I wanted to do.
Shout out moms,
Yeah,
man.
thank you, Mama Zapata, for creating a legend. And once we got to about, I would say 5th grade, which is, how old are you in 5th grade, do you think? Like 9, 10?
Maybe
10,
even
something like that.
I feel like I turned 10 in 4th grade. I don't know why I remember that.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
remember it was
Yeah,
kind
that
of special.
sounds right, because you're definitely not 11 in 6th grade.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
No,
don't
it's
know why I
okay.
don't
So
remember
it was, it was around 5th grade. And it's probably really when I took like 100% interest in music specifically. And I mean, even from when I was little with these guys, I together and me separately would always write lyrics for, as long as my memory goes back, honestly.
That's dope.
And so it's always been music or some form of entertainment. And then I would say not until like 8th grade, 9th grade year that I really started like actually recording music on a laptop that I got. And
still pretty early. That's
yeah,
early,
right.
man.
Okay, I guess so, yeah. But yeah, 9th grade, freshman year is when I put out my first song. And I remember like at first, like guys like these were the only people to even like know. Like I wasn't really going out of my way to brag. Like at first it went from like freestyling in lunch, you know what I mean? When it was like super rap and just bars, like
Facts.
in lunch. I mean, it's been a long journey, man. And so then it transferred to write. So I made a song in ninth grade, and I was kind of scared, timid at first to show anybody. I mean, I don't really think that I made it a point to want to be like a successful artist at that point, but I kind of always knew that's where it was going. So
Yeah.
eventually over time it just started blossoming into this thing until finally it had to have been one of you guys that like convinced me to, or maybe even showed other people yourselves, and then eventually it kind of just like, all right, I'm putting music out. And
Took that leap of faith.
yeah,
man.
I guess. And I seriously, I would not have been able to if it wasn't for them like telling me like, dude, you're good, like you're actually good,
Right.
and I don't know, I trusted their taste in music because I just off of what I knew that we liked good music, we like to listen to good music. So when they told me like, yo, your stuff is good, then I was like, all right, maybe I believe it a little bit. And then eventually it blossomed into this beautiful thing. And I mean, still, it feels like every day is like my first day of the job, but it's definitely been a long time in the making, bro.
Always open to learn, right?
Always, yeah.
So talk to me. You guys are obviously super close.
Yeah.
When did you guys meet? Where did it really all start for y'all?
Third grade, man. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that's what it really was. I mean, all three of us. I mean, I think it was like the second week of like me. I think I was the new one in
Yeah,
class.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we're all in the same. We had a teacher named Mr. Blunt. You know what
What?
I'm saying?
He was a math teacher. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah,
Hey,
Mr. Blunt. Yeah, shout out to him.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, it was third grade. I remember me and Emilio were in class, and it was a crazy mess. We were weird back then. Weird grade.
Right.
You always gonna see crazy shit.
A little weird in third grade.
Funny fact though, like, we were on we were on the playground type thing, and this kid was like talking junk to Emilio like that, and I just was not that kid to like see other people get bullied and stuff
Right.
like that. So, and I pushed him. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I
For
pushed
me,
him.
like, he pushed the
like,
bully out of the way.
I pushed him out of the way, like some like TV bully type thing. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And
All right, he's being modest. He's being
I'm
polite.
trying to be. I'm trying
He's
to be
being polite.
He
Let
laid
me-
it.
tell him
He
what's up.
laid
You
it
tell him
into
what's up.
him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And that was when I knew, like, even from that day, there's always that person in the room that you kind of hit it off with off gate, and so that alone, that day on the playground, he really like saved me from a bully. Then I'm pretty sure ever since he quite literally helped me get off the ground. From
Yeah.
that, we've been friends.
That's
literally.
amazing.
That's what, like over a decade ago.
Yeah.
It
Um,
has to be, yeah.
And
Crazy.
we met, and me and Harrison met in
Summer camp.
in
Between
kindergarten.
and first grade.
Wow.
Yeah.
at the YMCA. Yeah.
That's
and,
real.
Yeah.
Real
I mean,
ties.
I've been, oh man, with these three guys alone, bro, I've probably seen, God willing, be able to just as much more, but seen a lifetime of things with these guys. Like,
Most definitely. I mean,
done everything together.
journey, most definitely. And the thing about it, this man is all about hard work, man. Like, your journey has been nothing but sticking to
Oh,
it.
thank you, bro.
It's not
Thank you.
it's not a day that he don't take off. Like,
That's what's up,
he
man.
just doesn't.
You gotta
That's
love
real.
what you do, and then
Yeah.
it won't really feel like a job.
Facts. No
That's right.
doubt. No doubt. That's real. Authentic energy right there,
I'm
man.
clocked in,
For
baby.
sure,
Till the
bro.
lights go out.
You got to have that team, too, man. The support.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
just the recipe for success.
Yeah, shout out to Exotic too. He just messaged me, by the way. Thank you, Exotic, for all the hard work that you contribute to my music, and then more specifically for being able to help us get here today too. I wouldn't have met
Facts,
Mr. Browder if
bro.
it wasn't for Exotic.
Facts. Mr. Browder, that sounds a little...
Shout out to my dog. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
thank you guys for having us here, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Exotic was here last time on the interview. Your music, man, I had it on the set last week. I love the stuff, man. I love what you're
Thank you.
doing nowadays.
Thank you, bro.
I mean, I kind of want to break the ice, man. I know we got something coming up soon.
Yeah. So I'm getting ready to put out a single, and being that I'm shooting to be a representation of North Carolina, I keep trying to find new ways to have a heavy impact, and I think I'll say it. We're doing the single. They're gonna premiere it here on the station, and I think that alone is gonna be a beautiful thing. I think it's gonna be a great way to collide our platforms and put it
sure.
out. But the single's coming. It's kind of like a lovey-dovey, like Valentine's Day feel, but not something that you're gonna be like grabbing a box of tissues for. It's it's upbeat,
Nice.
colorful. It's called Out the Way, and if you want, I can go into a little bit more detail on what that whole song is about.
I would love to, but actually, we'll save it a little bit because
Okay.
we're gonna have a debut preview of the single out the way at the end of the interview. So if you're listening, stick around for that. That's the new.
Yeah.
Can we start back now? Maybe
Sure.
a little bit of a journey throughout how you've grown to get to this point to drop this single. Like what?
Yeah.
Here, I'll give you a question. What was the first song for you, whether it be a single or maybe it was even like
Right.
an album, where it was like, we're kind of moving here. Like this is like you really started kind of gaining some traction.
That song was Conceited. It was a song that I put out in 2017. Actually, Harrison was there when I made it. And so shout out to Oak City Studio. First of all, before I even go into the story, I can't even explain this without giving them the utmost credit. They're the best, most resourceful, most talented. But yeah, shout out to Rob, Jag, Adrian, Exotic, Mark. Yeah, man. So in 2017, that song was Conceited, and I went there to go record it. This was the first session that I'd ever had in a real like studio. And I didn't really know what to expect, and I definitely wasn't expecting to make that. Like, and I'm sure we'll listen to it together. I'll play it for you after, even if it doesn't get played in this. I'll play it for you after. But yeah, it's on all my social medias and streaming services, so you guys can go listen to it. But so I definitely wasn't expecting to make that. Like I said, within that whole transition of me getting ready to put music out, it was a mixture between like the Barzy type of stuff and with like a lot of 808s and just like, I don't know, heavy drums and stuff like that. But slowly I progressed into doing what I always wanted to do, was make the music that I like to listen to, which is, like really like singing and like melodic type of music. So like like a full song, you know what I mean? And
that's kind of what caught my eye for you when I heard your sound, man.
Well, I appreciate that. That means it's working, I guess. Something's working. But so yeah, I made 2 songs in this session, right? And the first one was complete bars, like going in heavy. I kind of wanted to test the waters, because at the time that's what I was 100% comfortable with, and I was like, all right, well, I'm just gonna play it safe and kind of get a vibe of the studio, see how everything feels and sounds. And so I made that. And then really in my mind, I had this song and I was like, I really think this could be something, And so I was like, all right, put that other beat on, which ended up being Conceited. And I mean, the rest is history, bro. I put it out maybe like 2 weeks later. And I remember that was the first time that I'd seen a song of mine that had like 20,000 streams, like seeing that, like the 20 and the K, like was like a big thing for me. I remember, or even seeing the 10 and the K, like, I was always the type of person that got motivated by it's so easy for me to get motivated, man. When I saw 1,000 plays, that was enough for me. Like, all right, so my friends knew that it was good, right? So I'm like, all right, maybe other people think it's good. And then you go put out a song and 100 people think it's good, and it's like, okay, that's cool. So then you get 1,000 streams, and it's just like this constant thing. It's like, dude, I'm convinced at this point that 1 billion people could find something to like in some of my music. But that was the first song that really did anything for me, And I mean, that's nothing compared to what I hope to achieve, but it was at the time very special for me. And that was it, Conceited. Yeah, that was the song.
And the first studio session ever for you,
First
right?
studio session
kind
ever,
of,
yeah,
or
yeah.
not really? Or?
Yeah, first professional studio session.
Okay.
Before that, I mean, it was just me in my room recording with a laptop.
Yeah.
and like a microphone that I probably got from Sam Ash or something like that.
Word.
But yeah.
So where did it kind of go from there then? Once you started, you said you were getting motivation. It sounded like kind of lit a fire under you a little bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely.
What was your next step there?
I linked up with some guys in the city, and we did a couple shows, and started gaining some traction. And I just kept pumping songs out, man. Just kept pumping songs out with other artists in the city and stuff like that, and kind of started getting a little name. And now I feel like leading up into this song, it's a little different. It's a different playing field. I really feel like everything personally in my career is getting ready to make a shift, for the next level, and hopefully break that glass ceiling. And then eventually be able to come back and put the magnifying glass back on the city. But
Yes,
so
sir.
yeah, so this, I mean, I'm trying to think. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's been a long journey, man. I'm thankful to be here and still love what I do. That's how.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, that's really all that
that's
matters.
all that matters. Have you always gone by Emilio?
Yeah, that's
as your artist name.
Yeah, that's my real name. Yeah, I've always gone by that. I never really wanted like a fake stage name. I mean, some of my closest like friends call me Milo for like a nickname, but that's like it's more family stuff. But yeah, I mean, as far as music, it's me, man. It's as real as it gets. It's
Facts.
just me. Can't fake
It's
that.
you, authentic.
Yeah. Michael Jackson doesn't have a stage name.
Exactly. I was gonna say that actually.
Yeah. Great
Um,
minds think alike.
So you're talking about dropping songs, you know. I take it you've probably dropped a lot of music since then, 2017.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You want to take me through like kind of what makes you decide, you know, like should I be pushing singles or should I be pushing albums? Because I've dipped into your discography, and you have a mix for sure.
Right.
What kind of makes you decide to do one or the other?
It really just depends how I feel. Like now at this point, it's definitely gonna be the single game. I've gotten into a nice little rhythm at this point, where it's like a single and a music video, and I think even doing stuff like this, excuse me, is gonna add to the to that kind of like spinning tornado, and it's just easier to catch momentum when it's one package. You know what I mean? An album takes a lot of attention. It takes a lot of time.
A lot of marketing.
A lot of marketing, you know, and which is stuff that I have songs now that I've been sitting on for 2 years because I know like, okay, this will sound good on an album, but I need to make sure that it gets what it deserves. And I feel like there's other things that I can do strategically to get me to a point where, okay, now this song is in a way better position than it could have been 2 years ago when you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm trying to play it like chess a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I definitely think for right now it's a single game for sure.
Word.
For sure.
I think that's smart too.
Thank you.
So kind of curious also, like when it comes to your creative process.
Yeah.
Shout out Oak City Studio.
Yeah.
When
Couldn't
you're
do it
going
without
into
them.
the studio, man, what kind of nowadays maybe is
Yeah.
your process?
My process. It really depends, like I said, on my mood. But these days, in the past year, I was really just, I was really obsessed with this, the whole idea of going in there and creating something from scratch. You know what I mean? And just really trying to get the most raw feel in a song that I could, and really trying not to write any lyrics. You know what I mean? And kind of just going off the top and off like wing it really.
Mm-hmm.
But as I'm developing as a person, in the past year, it's getting to the point where I feel like I can't afford to miss 1 millisecond of an opportunity to make sure that the song is perfect. And so now it's kind of took a 180, and I'm really, really specific and kind of dialed when it comes to how I'm creating a song, as far as just like lyric content, cadences and stuff like that. But yeah, I can do the whole like freestyle thing and make a song in 10 minutes, but after a while, I mean, it's fun. And if there's a session where it's like a big block of time, maybe even like 4 hours, then I would love to do that with the producer.
Mhm.
I mean, there's a lot of talented producers in the city that we've made countless songs like that and been good, you know, hits on the spot. I mean, me and Mark, shout out to Beats by Mark. He's the literal GOAT. When you Google GOAT on Google Images, Mark's picture will probably come up. I'm just warning you. Besides just being a talented producer, he is probably one of the most genuine guys that I've met in the music world. And anytime that me and him work together, it's like butter, bro. I don't know. But
Yeah, I've had the privilege of meeting him too. He's a great guy.
yeah, man. I mean, you can just tell as soon as you meet him, he's one of a kind. And so, yeah, I kind of got off track a little bit. I kind of lost my train of thought.
That's
Shout out to
okay.
Mark though. But
Facts.
yeah, no. Okay. So there's been plenty of times where me and a producer will sit down and we'll make a song from scratch. Like I've done that with Jag and Adrian countless times. With Rob, I mean, made countless records just on the spot. And especially when it's with if it's like another artist that we're getting on the song, it's always a nice vibe in the studio to just kind of make it from scratch. It feels like making it from scratch is kind of like part of the song, you know, like
Right.
it makes it a little bit more special. But now I'm to the point where I'm really trying to become a working, you know, oiled, greasy machine that just pumps out hits. And I feel like having all that time to really just like freestyle stuff on the spot gave me the space to now I'm able to go and actually like write a song from start to finish in a much more professional manner. You know what I mean?
Nice. Yeah, I totally get that. And so you're talking about this well-oiled machine. You're getting
Yeah.
traction going. where do you kind of see things going in the future for you? Like, what are some goals you have set right now?
I definitely want to. I mean, just quite frankly, bro, I want to be like the biggest artist that there is. Like, to be completely honest.
This man is ready, man. I'm trying to tell you, like the way he talks, the way he's talking.
Yeah,
right
I
now,
like that goal, man.
It's been like this since the beginning.
It's been a long time coming. Like there's
what's
nothing
since the beginning, my guy.
That's it. Like I want to be the face of everything. I want to be like a mogul. I want to be able to eventually. I mean, there's so many. I'll talk about a few like short-term goals.
Like, do you have any plans for a project coming soon?
Yeah. So I mean, on the music side of things, we're doing some singles now, but I definitely think it's going to lead into a project by the end of this year. I think that's where it's going. But I just need to make sure that there's a good home for it. I need to make sure that it's getting released in the right way, with the right people. And I think if it makes sense, then 100%. But for now, I think I'm pretty safe with just doing singles, and we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, man. I mean, the list of goals that I have are endless. Like I really want to be the biggest artist that exists one day.
I love that.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Man. Thank you.
And it'll just keep you hungry for a while. I mean,
Yeah.
for real, if you love it, man, like that's why not?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, no one can stop you.
Thank you, bro. Right.
What?
I mean, that's such a generalized way. Sorry, that's just a generalized thing. But I mean, I don't know, man. But
you
it
think
keeps me
it's
hungry.
You think it's generalized, but like, I don't hear a lot of people say that. I don't think people come up in here and will say that. So
well, there can only be one, right?
that's true.
There we
man.
go.
What kind of experiences, plural, I guess, have you had with like shows?
Rocking out.
Yeah,
Rocking out.
Rocking out.
Every last one, my guy.
Oh man.
When was the last show?
Last show was that
In
I
the
performed at. Yeah, it was in the fest
Yeah.
in
Summer.
Summer in
Summer in the
Carolinas.
Carolinas, yeah,
Okay.
that I personally performed at. But I mean, all right, I'll tell you a funny show story. So, I'll tell you two. One time I got kicked out of my own show
Oh my gosh.
in at Lincoln Theater. Shout out to Lincoln Theater.
Yeah.
In downtown Raleigh. So I mean, if you know anything about us, like personally, we're really family oriented, right? And so there's a few of us, there's a lot of us, but there's a few of us, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And we're a very tightly knit family, only because that's how it is in real life. We love each other, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I don't know, man. When people act up to one another, to say at least, it's we all kind of as a family decide to take it upon ourselves and say, okay, this is a group task that we're gonna figure out.
Yeah.
And
I respect that.
yeah, to say the least. But so I'm on stage, and I see one of my boys. Should I say his name? I'm gonna put him on blast. Castle. I see one of my boys, Castle, right, and he was in college at the time.
Shout out Castle.
Shout out to Castle.
Shout out
that
Castle.
man, that is
You said Matt Castle?
no, his name is Castle.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thought
no,
Someone said that.
That's his first name. His
Like
first
the
name is
football
Castle.
player. I was like, wow, okay.
Right? No. He plays football like soccer though, like how we
Okay.
say it in Spanish.
Yeah. Football.
Football. And so Castle was in the crowd, and he gets into it with a guy, and at this point, when you're on stage, right, and the way that most venues are set up, the lighting and stuff like that, it's so hard to see into the crowd. So I somehow, by the grace of God, get a glimpse of just Castle and another human just throwing shots at each other.
Jeez.
And I didn't at that point know it happened. And this was, mind you, I was a lot younger, and a little stupider. I took it upon myself to do a spear dive into the crowd, right where the target was, as if I had locked on like a fighter pilot.
Literally.
And my hand, it just like became this like, I don't know, this spear, and I spear dove into this kid, and I mean it took seconds before the security grabbed me up and then brought me outside.
Mid song.
Yeah, I probably had to put the mic down.
Damn.
And then so I walked in the back door and came back in and continued to perform. But I mean, it was in the moment. I have a video somewhere that I can show you. But in the moment, that was like, there was probably like we were probably like 20 deep, and we're all like, it was definitely a moment. It was kind of like you would have thought you were at a heavy metal concert. But I mean, that was that's the swag when you're young and you're 17 at that time too. Especially when all like the Florida music was like the wave.
For sure.
It was just a different time, man. We were on some different stuff. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, now we're a little bit more civilized, and there's a lot at stake. But Yeah, man, it was fun. And then so there's another story where I was preparing for a concert, and there's this balcony, right? And so I thought to myself, wouldn't it be so cool if I climbed to the top of that balcony and performed a song? So in rehearsal, which is something that we take really serious before we do shows, all the boys made it a point to be like, I don't think either of you actually went.
Where was this show?
This was at in Raleigh too, in downtown Raleigh.
Lincoln again, right?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Was it Lincoln?
It was.
Yeah.
Before or after the last?
No, this is after. This is a lot more recent.
Yeah.
And they, they said, look, that's a long run. That's a long way up to the balcony. You're gonna have to, because there was a whole route they have to take around the venue to go back in another door and run, and in between songs, it had to be perfect timing. Like it was something that had to be like executed properly, or it wasn't gonna work. Just the way that the songs transition and stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta stay hidden from the crowd. And
Yeah, a whole bunch
go
of stuff.
outside
Can't
around
hit
the
that
building.
dash, man.
Yeah, right. Had to hit the dash mid after you're already. I mean, like if anybody that's been on stage, even you guys know from whether you're performing or not, it's like a cardio workout.
Yeah.
And so
I could only imagine.
on top of that, I had some balcony calisthenics.
It was crazy. That was crazy. That
was
one
a moment.
show, like
Yeah.
up there and you're up top, and I think you had got a picture.
Yeah.
taken
Yeah, it's on
up
your
there the
Instagram, I
balcony.
think.
Yeah, it's on
That
my
was
Instagram.
so
It
was
lit,
just hanging
bro.
off the balcony.
You
Yeah, like
sounds
Bat- like
sounds
Batman.
legendary.
I was like
Yeah,
an
it is
icicle.
dope.
I was in an all white denim outfit, kind of looked like an icicle. But yeah. So they set 2 markers. They were like, okay, from here to this stop sign we'll consider that the same distance, right? So you have to practice running that. So bing, 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 practice, and I had to get it. I think there was a certain specific time that I had to hit it for it to make sense.
That's
And
so
then-
funny. I did not know that.
Yeah, there was a
Yeah.
whole
I didn't know
warm
you
up.
had to practice
I swear,
at it.
I
Yeah.
didn't know none of that.
Yeah,
That's
there was a
so
whole
funny.
warm up, and they're like rooting me on like I'm Rocky chasing the chicken.
Yeah.
And
Crazy.
so push comes to shove, the show is here, and the song comes, and it's in the back of my mind like, okay, I'm gonna have to do it. And then a good friend of ours, shout out to Draco. I remember him being I think it was
Drakey.
I think it was
Sure.
Draco that was outside, and when the time came, I ran out the back door. And it was almost like I felt like a real champ running. At that time there was straight adrenaline. There was no way I wasn't gonna make that. I think I
Yeah.
probably could have done it twice in the amount of adrenaline that I had in my body at the moment. And so I sure enough made it. Slapped Draco's hand on the way out. Got up to the balcony, and I just remember looking down like, whoa, okay, we're here. This is happening.
Can't be scared of heights, right?
Yeah, no, not at all.
The people most definitely wasn't expecting him to be on the damn.
Yeah, and so
Yeah,
they
you
switched
see the whole crowd
Yeah.
shit.
That's cool.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
switched the lighting last minute and put like a spotlight up, almost like a bat signal.
Wow.
And then things like that, that's like the creative things that he think of, like stuff he think of. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I'm about to come out on the balcony. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And then and then imagine the experience for everyone else too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right,
you're
right.
really setting a scene there. I mean, you're adding elements to enhance it for everyone else for
I'm
sure.
trying. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
When's the next show? You know?
That's a good question. It's also
COVID
a little-
threw a wrench in 'em.
a little
Yeah.
tricky right now with what we got going on, but I don't know. I don't personally have any plans soon. Maybe in the summertime. I'm gonna take this time to really try to focus on the content side of things. You know what I mean, and really try to build that digital empire.
Mm-hmm.
And so that way, when we do come to the live experience, it's 10 times bigger than it would have been any other way.
yes, sir.
Have a fresh catalog too.
right.
Word. When that's set in stone, you got to let me know. You shout
100%.
it out here,
Yeah,
during a set or
100%.
something.
Yeah, I mean, and consider you guys definitely. I'll give you tickets, whatever.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
whatever it takes.
We're gonna take a little break, do a little air break.
Cool.
Tune into some Emilio. Let's
do it.
You got a request?
Yeah, let's do it. You can do anyways. The song anyways. It's
Anyways by Emilio.
beautiful. Yeah, it's
Zapata.
100% clean. It's beautiful, man. Thank you.
You're listening to DJ Browder. It's the Beat Cave. Hope y'all enjoy.
I'm running out of things to do and I'm alone in my house. I can't ignore this feeling that I get, but I don't believe a word that comes out your mouth. How dare you try to gamble with my life? I bet I'd be the one to say I play my cards right. but it's cool. Got played like a fool, and her mama's still mad that I didn't finish school. I ain't wanna go down that road, it just wasn't for me, so don't ask me why. And your friends try to tell you that I'm not the one, but I think she's really mad that I'm not her guy. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, I can't read your mind, baby. You tell me you got nowhere to be, but you probably leave me anyway. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, I can't read your mind, baby. You tell me you got nowhere to be, but you probably leave me anyway. It's too much, it's way too tough for me to try to fix your life in a matter of months. And somehow I'm always caught in the middle, but I don't wanna be stuck. So I gotta go, do what's best for me. But that's nothing new, baby, your heart's in my suitcase. So no matter where I go, that's where you'll be, just for the remainder of time. You can hate me, girl, that's fine, but this one-way ticket says different. Until you just get it, I'll be on my way to cloud nine. No, like, I don't know what you want me to say, I can't read your mind, baby. You tell me you got nowhere to be, but you probably leave me anyway. Like, I don't know what you want me to say, I can't read your mind, baby. You tell me you got nowhere to be, but you probably leave me anyway.
All right, we're back. That was a banger.
Thank you.
What went into that song?
Oh man, that song is the prequel to this new one that's coming out. I'll put it like that. So at the end of 2019, 2020, something like that. At the end of one of those years, I was it had to be the end. Yeah, it was the end of 2020, and I was going through, to say the least, I was going through probably two of the hardest things that I've probably had to experience in my recent life, and one of those things was a breakup, and a breakup with someone that I was with for a long time, and this song came from that. I mean, to say the least. I went out to LA for a little bit and spent some time there, and for a multitude of reasons, main one being music. Another one was definitely a little bit of soul searching, which LA may not be the best place for it, but
It's still good though.
Yeah.
Soul
Just to
searching's
travel and to
important,
see. I
man.
wanted to see the world and
Right.
really try to, figure this thing out and make it work. And
We can't stay in Raleigh forever.
no, definitely not. And so, yeah, this song is kind of talking about that. This song, I basically feel like I'm in the airplane on the leaving Raleigh to go to LA in that time period. Every time that I listen to this song is what I feel like. It's me getting on that plane. That's what I feel like. Getting on that plane to go take that leap of faith. Leaving behind a lot, everything is here. And sometimes you need to leave things behind to kind of show you, what they really meant to you in the first place. And maybe even if that's not intentional, I feel like a lot of times it's ended up being like that for me. And you find that you learn a lot more. And, nothing is ever a loss, especially not in relationships with people. My only advice would to just be appreciate people while you have them, whether it's like a romantic relationship or friendship, whatever the case is. Nothing is guaranteed. I think that we've all been taught that probably in one way or another. And it could be taken really quick. So, yeah.
That's real.
That song, yeah, thank you, bro. That song was definitely was a breakup song, I guess. And then
Relatable.
yeah,
I think
thanks.
a lot of people can relate with
I
that.
appreciate that.
What just going to your identity with the music, your sound.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, what has been like your inspirations? Like, who are some people maybe that you guys have all grown up listening to? Like,
well, I'll name a few, and then you guys agree with me. Okay,
Yeah.
so or disagree. Well, I'll start with my mom is the reason why I listen to a lot of the music that I do. And she put me on to a lot of like funk music, like Prince and Earth, Wind and Fire.
You're not
yeah.
gonna leave that there, are you?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it there. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there for now.
Soul music.
And so it's a story I have to tell you off air.
Oh,
but
I know where you're going with that.
yeah. So yeah, I got a lot of inspiration from my mom's music choices, and my dad is from South America. Actually, he's not from America, so that's another part of my heritage and background too. Is I'm Colombian, and my dad comes from Colombia, South America. And when he came to the States, probably when he was in his 20s, I think. I think classic rock and roll was probably like the coolest thing since sliced bread, you know, like, and that was, I mean, he loves classic rock, like anything like 80s rock and roll, like Led Zeppelin and Guns N' Roses. And so a mixture of that. And then throughout my cousins, right, take it a step down from the parents to the cousins, right, I was the youngest, right, so I'm getting all the apples falling from the tree, all the hip hop, the punk rock, early 2000s hip hop. And then it kind of developed into this big ball of influence. Like, I swear to you, I literally am one of those people who will listen to anything, like country music, even at this point. And I've recently come to grow to country music. Shout out to Jamie, my boy, another one of my close friends. He's the reason that him and Luke, another one of my close friends, are the reason that I listen to country music probably to this day. And I mean, sometimes I enjoy it, bro.
Can't stay in a box, you know?
No, I like good music. Like, if it sounds good, I don't care if it's somebody tapping their fingers together. Like, if it sounds like, if it makes me feel something, you know, I don't care what the name of it is. I'll listen to it. And so, yeah, I mean, my influences are literally range from anything. And as I got into my, like, personal collection of music, it became more of the, like, the Lil Wayne. I know that we all grew up, I mean, us three definitely grew up on Lil Wayne heavy. All of, like, the early 2000 rap. And, my older cousin Sam was the one listening to like punk rock and stuff like that. So he put me onto the punk rock, and now it's like this big blend of like everything, bro.
Yeah,
It's Zapata. It's just me. It's my own sound. I feel like I'm really, if anything, I'm happy with the fact that I've been able to etch out my own sound. You know what I mean? And like really have my own sound.
That's
a lot
hard too.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
Something that I feel like actually comes from, you know, my soul, like something that's me. And I feel like it's my soul crying, like every time I'm on a song, whether it's happy, sad, you know, whatever. But it's literally me. I'm bleeding out onto the song, which I want the listener to feel.
Yeah.
And that only comes from all the influence and the space that I've been so gracefully given to be able to learn as much as I can. That's the biggest asset I have, is the amount that I've been able to learn from, you know, just life, the world around me.
Right. It is crazy, man. Like that whole higher power. You're talking about soul. I mean, like, going from what you're doing in the booth and that one little audio file can just go and then explode, touching all these people's ears everywhere. I mean, there's got to be something bigger to that. It is a power, for sure. And I think the best way to describe it is soul, like you're saying. I mean, it's literally like a type of energy, a spirit that's kind of traveling through.
It's got to be.
Touching people, you know.
I don't know one person that, even like our parents and people who just listen to it, he can touch anybody's, like, you know what I'm saying? The music he makes, anybody can listen to. You know what I'm saying? His music is for everybody.
Thank you, bro.
You know, like most stuff.
I mean, like I said, I get my work ethic from my pops. I get my love from my mother, but this is all me. I don't know. It's got to be spirit. It's got to be God or so. I don't know, man. It's something.
Like I said earlier, there's nothing else he ever done every day besides music that I know of. You know what I'm saying? Every day.
That's what's up.
Every day.
Yeah.
And it'll pay off. It will. And that's real. That's the realest way to do it. And
I appreciate that.
I feel like one thing I've learned a lot is you just can't really take shortcuts in this game. The cheaters will get exposed one way or another.
Right.
If you're true to yourself, it'll all pay off.
Yeah, I always tell people, like, a lot of people are curious. Like, I feel like get stuck in this cycle of just being lazy and saying, "Oh, well, I want to do this." you know. But I mean, there is no cheat code, bro. The only cheat code I've come to find is taking the long way. Is taking this, you know, I mean, is really putting in hours of whatever it is that you may want to do. That is the cheat code. Hard work is the cheat code. Determination and consistency. And eventually you'll figure it out, or you'll figure out this isn't what I should be doing.
Mm-hmm. So now I'm curious hearing you say that. I mean, hard work, you're mentioning like laziness, kind of the flip of the coin there.
Right.
I mean, the reality is, as an artist, sometimes the creativity is dry, you know? I mean, maybe motivation's low.
Yeah.
I know I've had that experience just from creating, producing, you know? Sometimes you go through ruts where you can just crank stuff out.
100%.
What have you done, or what are some strategies you've used to get you through that, to keep you, you know, pushing?
Yeah.
Give him that story. Like, I mean, bro, you've changed. I mean, and the way you look, the way you go about things. Like,
Right.
give him that. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
So when I was a kid, I was a little overweight, and I was the class clown, to say the least, right? So there was a while when I was trying to make music at first, like a very short period of time, where I had to kind of like really kick my foot in the door for people to take me serious. You know, if you're the class clown and just the chubby class clown or whatever, right? Like that's you know, that is another thing too that taught me young. Like, okay, like what you put out about yourself is really important, because it'll stick. And so maybe I felt like, okay, people weren't taking me serious. And after so long, etching it away at this project of mine, right? It's almost like you figure out a recipe for people to take you serious. And you realize at one point that all it is just hard work, you know? And any time that I've ever, like, there's been so many times, like, through as a young kid where, you know, when I was out of shape, I got made fun of just like anybody. And, you know, that's really, it builds your character, bro. And it gets you to a point, I mean, and then now as you get older, you experience things, and, you know, that's a whole different ballgame. Like, experience loss and real problems, not just like little kid, you know, people making fun of you or whatever.
Facts.
But throughout all of that, one thing that keeps me motivated is literally just like my own spirit and past experiences, knowing that I've gone through. I mean, especially in the past few years, bro, with some of the stuff that we've like been through, it's to the point now where I feel like I've had my spirit tested so much that if it was gonna break, it would have by now.
Exactly.
So I try to dial back into that same little chubby kid, you know, or that kid who was hurt when his homie passed away, or when the girl that he cared about broke his heart. Like, my work ethic now is to the point, and my head is to the point now where it's like a cinder block, bro. It's probably hot, like when you knock, like, I'm dialed. I'm good. I promise you. As long as my family is healthy and safe, you know, I'm good. There is nothing that can break my spirit. And so I use that chubby kid. I use that whatever, that hurt kid as I guess as an example of what not to do. And if I was able to get to a point now where I feel like, you know, good with myself, then there's nothing, you know, I don't, God willing, you know, knock on wood, but like I said, as long as my family is safe and healthy, I'll always find a way to persevere. And I feel like that's another thing I want to do throughout my career, is give kids an example of that they can literally, like, there's no reason you can't achieve your goals, even if you feel like there's no way I could be that kid, or I'm out of shape, or this person doesn't like me. Whatever the situation is, I guarantee you, with enough hard work and enough effort, somebody's going to take you serious.
Yes, sir.
And then at that point, when one person takes you serious, or you have that feeling in your chest like, okay, I might be doing something right, you need to look at that and say, okay, if this person feels that way, 100 people can. If 100 people can, 1,000 people can. If 1,000 people can, 1,000,000 can. And eventually somewhere you get to the point where it's like, okay, I really could be the biggest in the world. Or not, you know.
Start building some confidence.
Right. And I'm not saying it's not to be the biggest in the world. It's not a race. Just be the best version of yourself to yourself. So that way when you do look in the mirror, when you are in a room by yourself and you have those thoughts in your head, you're happy with that person, whatever it takes. And a lot of times people know, like, okay, this would be beneficial for me. Yeah. If I just put a little bit more work in and did this, I'd be happier. But it's just that second step of just doing it. And you're going to be so much happier when you take that extra time. So just push through. One thing that keeps me going is the gym. I like the gym a lot. And to work on my physical body. Yeah. I mean, that's like, the gym is my second passion, like my physical health, that and fashion are my probably three like top passions. It goes music, and then working out at the gym, and then clothes and stuff like that. But yeah, man. So the gym helps me a lot. And just past experience, man. Pushing through helps me push through the next time.
That's real. Yeah, that's what's up. A lot of things I'm thinking about there. One thing is like the biggest in the world goal. I feel like from hearing what you're just talking about right now, it's like a lot of people might think like that's cocky or something, but it's like it shouldn't bother you if that's someone's goal, first off. Like everyone makes what we are. Like you're saying, you're putting it out. You should be able to create whatever it is. No one can tell you differently. But also it's like goals sometimes are like the ceiling, you know?
Yeah.
So why would you set a goal that would limit it? Like if that, I think I love hearing that goal from you because it's like there is no ceiling. There shouldn't be a ceiling. I hope that would inspire a lot of other people too.
I hope so. And even, you don't have, like I said, you don't have to be the best or the best looking or the best whatever. Just be to other people. What I'm saying is be the best to you. Like if I can be the best version of myself, I seriously, I mean, on paper, I want to be the biggest in the world, but as long as I'm happy and I'm doing good things for myself and the people that I love and care about, and leaving the world in a better place than you found it, it's really the only goal, man. Just be the best version of yourself, whatever it is that you're doing.
And never apologize for it either.
Never.
No,
Unapologetic.
definitely.
You mentioned fashion.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fashion guy.
Yeah.
I try to, be stylish or
Pretty
whatever.
fashionable right now.
I try,
right? You got the
man,
cozy
but not really, man.
crew
You got
neck
the
on.
turtleneck. I'm trying to paint a picture. I like the
yeah.
jacket. What are
Thank you.
what are kind of some maybe your go-to brands, or if you have any, or what? Take me through.
So I've really been taking the gym really serious in the past year, and I train 6 days out of 7, and do like resistance training and cardio training and stuff like that. So I'm really into like athletic clothes right now. But right now I'm not wearing that. I'm wearing like more, I guess, fancy stuff.
But don't let this man fool you now. He can model now, most definitely. I'm trying to push it on him right now to go ahead and get somebody to put you on something. Like, man, this man is photogenic for real. Like,
thank you. I appreciate that,
seriously.
brother. I like I don't know. It really depends, bro. I'll wear anything. Like I'm not a person that needs to wear like designer brands.
Mm-hmm.
I swear to you, I will look like Rick Rubin when I am successful. I will be in my house in the backyard with no shirt on, just some shorts. Like I'm good with some and some warm weather. This is it's almost like costume, man. It doesn't mean nothing, bro. But I like to dress up a lot. It's nice depending on the vibe.
It's art.
Yeah, it's art. It's another way of it's another way of expressing yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
Our ancestors didn't have these freaking big bulky clothes on. All they had were like little napkins and leaf sticks. Man. Come on, I don't need this. I'm good. I could go out. Look, I'll go out in the forest, and as long as the weather, permits,
Right.
and some shorts, I'm good. And Harrison honestly taught me that too. This man literally wears anything. Like he doesn't care, bro. And whether it was in school or the concert, whatever. All his outfit, he would be the freshest guy and always looked like the most comfortable with what he was wearing because you could just tell it was something that he just wanted to put on, whether it was pajama pants or a wife beater. Like, and that's one thing that I took away from him a little bit, honestly, for myself, bro, is to just be comfortable whatever it is that you're wearing, as long as you're.
I'll be chilling.
I feel that for real.
As long as you're comfortable, that's all that matters.
That's right.
You guys ever get into like thrift shopping kind of?
Oh yeah, we went hard for a
We
while.
cozy
love
over
that,
here.
man.
That's what we like to say, cozy.
I kind of discovered that right before the pandemic. I mean, just because there's so much stigma around, spending the money.
Heck yeah.
But I feel like the biggest part of fashion sometimes is kind of finding those gems. People don't know the price tag at the end of the day.
Exactly.
No, I mean, if you're wearing something because of what the price tag is, you're not even really. I think that's kind of pointless.
Yeah.
When I first got my license, we used to go every day and go thrifting.
I mean, there's
hit the
probably
Goodwills and all that.
Yeah, there's 2 good thrift shops by where we grew up, and
I just got this yesterday from the thrift shop. I was just telling him in the car.
I need to hit it, man. It's been a minute
There
for
it
me,
is.
honestly.
Yeah.
There it is. Honestly, I think I ordered all this stuff. Like these pants. Like I'll find stuff randomly. I'm wearing some Nikes, some Wrangler pants from Walmart.
Yeah,
From
Walmart
Walmart.
got them pants,
Yes,
y'all.
sir.
Guamar,
I promise.
Guamar, as my
There we go.
Latinos say. And yeah, dude, whatever feels right. And I would love to give that advice to anybody else. I know a lot of kids are probably that's one of the biggest things when you're young, right? Is like whatever the trend is to wear at the time. But just wear whatever you're comfortable with, man. Confidence breeds success. Success breeds confidence. Girls like it when you're confident.
Mm-hmm.
I think girls like a confident man in a pair of pajamas and a wife beater than the guy who looks like he's stiff and can't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there you go.
Can't even have a
Facts.
conversation with you in whatever
There you
he's
go.
wearing because he ain't comfortable in it, man. I don't know.
You heard the man. Switching things up a little bit. Well, you've kind of talked about the gym, because I was meaning to ask you, I mean, what are some hobbies outside of music? I mean, I can tell you got
Yeah.
that love for music, but there's got to be
Yeah.
some other stuff, some interests, some love
Um,
for other things, you know?
Look, honestly, I love. I'm a family man. You know, I love being, and when I say family, I don't mean, excuse me, just blood related family. I mean, you know, my tribe. I love being with my closest friends. At this point, it's not even friends. Like, yeah, they're just family.
Mm-hmm.
I love being with them. Whatever it is, as long as I'm doing it with them, I'm cool. That music, the gym, of course, is number one, but we already talked about that. But yeah, man, just physical training and being with the guys and just plotting on the world. Like it's never ever a dull moment. And I feel like personally that I'm at the point right now where I want to have as little hobbies as possible right now, and focus on my one craft that I know can go a long way. That way, by the time that I am 40 or 35, whatever, I'll be, I'll be comfortable. And maybe comfortable is a horrible word because I don't think I ever want to be comfortable, but just, have time to be able then to go pick up new hobbies or whatever. Right now, I'm really locked in, bro. I think,
I like the way you said that. I mean, because I think a horrible stigma with music that I've just growing up, I've always thought of it as like music and hobby. It always is like music is with the hobbies.
Right.
But I don't think it should always have to be like that. And I like hearing you talk about that, how it's like you don't really need hobbies. Like some people might even look at people like us who are really into music. I was like, oh, it's music's your hobby. It's like, no, I mean, music's like life, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Right. That's why you just gotta find something that you that you're actually passionate about, and it'll fill all those gaps. It'll be your hobby, your employer,
You're everything.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Facts. That's
find
right.
whatever it is that you love, even if at the time it's a person or just anything, that you can give your heart to. Then it'll fill those things. It'll be your hobby. It'll be your job. It'll be your responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. You guys, like big sports guys at all? Not really.
They-
or-
I'm a big basketball guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Harrison
that's
probably
about
is. I'm starting in the past year. I'm starting to get into sports. Like Shaquan grew up playing basketball, football. Harrison, I grew up playing some sports too, but
We
as
all
far
grew
as-
up skating too.
Yeah, we all grew up.
skated.
There it is.
That's a whole other lifetime that I would love to get into, but I don't know if we got all that much time.
Well, I mean, that's the
Yeah.
hobby I was trying to crack right there. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, man. Okay, so we a big reason that we all even know each other in the first place
Yeah.
is because of the skate park in
Yeah,
the
that's
town
what
that
really
we're from.
built our friendship.
That's
Yeah,
where
that's
everything happened. The first fights that we probably got into, the first
Mhm.
anything, bro. That's where all the real greasy hours were.
Delicious skate park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was delicious skate park, and so that was something that when we were younger, while still trying to figure out, the next development of it, whether it was the music or the sport that we wanted to play, whatever the case was, that was the home. Like that's the home base. That's where everybody's at when they talk about. When you hear stories about like, oh yeah, in the neighborhood, like that was the neighbor. I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Like that was the
Mhm.
home. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
the community.
That was the community, right? And so everything happened there, man. Some of our first kisses probably were there, like everything, bro. And yeah, so we definitely used to get rowdy and get a lot of sweating in at an early age, which I think was very beneficial in the long run. And as far as like sports, and physical active hobbies, like that was a big one when we were little. But now I'm starting to like sports. I like watching sports now. I like the UFC a lot. I like basketball a lot. Harrison's a big basketball guy. Also part-time professional 2K player.
Okay.
That's right. Yeah, going hard for sure.
It's a funny story actually. Speaking of sports, so we were playing 2K one time, and long story short, he hit me with a half court shot.
It's full court.
Oh my god.
Oh, it was full court?
Yes, it
One
was.
of
That's even-
those.
Yeah,
man.
let them know.
That's
Full
even
court
worse.
shot, yeah.
Gotta love it. That's even worse.
Golly.
Yeah, it was a full court shot with LeBron,
Yeah, Mr. James.
Yeah.
and it went in, and that was
That's demoralizing.
really demoralizing, bro.
He went to sleep.
I probably did, honestly.
That's why I kind of don't even play like 2K no more. Like the game used to I used to feel like it was a glitch. Like, cause ain't no way LeBron would have made a full court shot.
Come on, bro. You
Right,
know he's
yeah.
making that shot. Y'all know he's making that shot.
He is
Let's not do
great. Now,
that.
if it was
'Cause
Steph
he's making the
Curry or
shot.
something,
Come on, y'all.
Hey, look,
come on, my guy.
I'm not gonna stop myself short, but I'm not the biggest fan of LeBron.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Huh.
But
It's
shout
okay.
out
It's
to him
okay.
though.
Yeah. Shout out to him.
I don't know, man. Yeah, sports are second to none. It's a really big. There's a community in all of it.
Yeah,
which
for
I
sure.
find interesting in football, or it's just it's the camaraderie of being with other humans that like the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, community. I always like thinking about stuff coming back to art also. I feel like skating,
Yeah,
can really get into
Mhm.
that. There's art and skating, no doubt.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's making its way into, I don't want to be wrong, Olympic
Yeah.
stuff now.
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I mean,
What about you, bro?
2024, it'll be there.
Yeah. What did you play any sports or
yeah,
anything,
I'm a
bro?
basketball guy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who's your
um,
team?
Hornets. I
Nice.
gotta stay
Yeah,
local, man. I'm
shout
not
out
gonna
to
be one of those.
yes,
I've been
sir.
around since Bobcats days, man.
Oh,
Those were,
word.
even when I was a kid, man, like
Yeah.
7 years old. I love Gerald Wallace. I don't know, man. Those guys.
Yeah,
it
for
was
sure.
rough times, man. But I made with what we
Mhm.
have. We're making
Oh,
it work now.
Yeah, they're having fun now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Actually,
They're
speaking
going
of
hard.
Charlotte Hornets, it's Friday, January 28th when we're recording this, and there is a Charlotte Hornets versus LA Lakers game happening in Charlotte
Ooh,
tonight,
yeah.
which
I
was
forgot
gonna
about
go to.
that. Oh my gosh.
And there's one tomorrow. Or
Yeah?
they
It
played
is?
2 games back to back.
Oh, that's gonna be
Oh
lit.
yeah.
That's kind of a statement game.
I'll tell you.
Yeah,
Not to
that
get
is a
too
statement
too
game.
nerding out into the
Yeah.
sports and
No,
all. But
I like it, bro.
It is a statement game for Charlotte and LA.
Yeah,
I mean,
big
it's
time.
like
That's
Yeah.
all, dude. Yeah, me and another good friend of mine, Owen. Shout out to Owie. We were thinking about getting some tickets to go, but I think we both ended up being pretty busy this weekend. Yeah, shout out to Owie, man.
I
He's a goat.
imagine they're
Most
probably
definitely.
pretty expensive too. I mean, they love
Yeah.
taxing for the Lakers. I know that.
Yeah,
Oh,
honestly,
yeah.
when I checked on, I think it was either Tuesday or Wednesday when I checked, because it was kind
Mhm.
of last minute even, and I was kind of thinking, I'm like, oh man, I bet they're gonna be skyrocketed. I was pretty surprised they weren't too horrible, but
Yeah.
yeah, we're here with the geyser, man, Mr. Browder.
Maybe you
Thank you.
perform out there someday, right?
Right? I would love to.
Spectrum Center. That's a great place.
There we go.
Yeah, needs to happen.
We'll set
PNC
that as
Arena
goal.
needs to happen too.
Yeah, PNC. If you're listening, man, we're right down the street. Make it happen.
Yeah, Zapata will give you an experience to remember.
Well, we're kind of about that time now in the interview.
Yeah, man.
The much anticipated unreleased single from Emilio.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
What was it?
It's out the way.
Out the way.
Out the way, yes, sir.
Valentine's. When's it dropping?
There's not a specific date set, but it'll probably be out by the time that you're hearing this. And if that's the case, go listen to that. Break your speakers. Go run to your grandmother. Tell her that this is the best
Grandmother.
thing since sliced Jello.
Yes, sir.
Tell her
What is
that this is the song that you want to play at your wedding, man. Because I think it's gonna be, I don't know. I think it'll be good. In all seriousness, I think it'll.
And if it's not out, you're basically listening. I mean, you're getting a sneak peek right now if you're listening right now.
If it's
I mean,
not
this is
out-
a
Yeah.
privilege for
Hey,
you. Listen, you
if-
know?
that's-
If yeah,
that's
let's just
special.
say this: if it's not out, then you listening to the song exclusively on 88.1 will be like buying Bitcoin when it was at $1. So enjoy,
Yes, sir.
and I hope that you enjoy it, man. I do this for anybody who listens, whether you know me or not, and I hopefully know a little bit about me, and I hope you enjoy it, man. This is the sequel to that kind of that breakup stuff that I was talking about
Yes, sir.
that I don't really want to talk about.
Well, man, I really appreciate you guys coming through today.
Yeah, brother.
It's
Yeah,
been a
dude.
great
Of course.
time. Anyone out there who is looking to follow you guys, maybe on
Yeah.
socials,
course.
what are we looking
Yeah,
at?
yeah. So we can do that. So I'm on Instagram at Emilio Zapata _. Emiliozapata _ on everything. Everything worth finding. On Spotify and Apple Music, it's just my name, man. It's Emilio Zapata. Michael Jackson don't got a stage name, neither does Zapata. You can find me on literally probably anything, bro. Thank you guys so much for having us here. It's been a pleasure, man. I'm
That's
glad that
been
we
great, man.
finally got to sit down and talk for a little bit.
Very cool.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
So yeah, if you guys read your socials.
Yeah, you
out
guys
too, if
wanna-
you want.
Okay, well, mine is new_vision_919.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And wait, I don't know if we can say
Yeah.
his on air.
Yeah. Well,
My Instagram name got the
Just
F
say
word.
it. Just say it.
At Polo Jeans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The
All
one and
right.
only.
Let's
That's
go.
good.
Or for
Well-
the edited version, say effing.
At in Polo Jeans.
You heard the man. So you don't have to follow them, but feel free if you want to keep up, like what you heard.
Yeah.
Check them out. If you want to get more updates on the Beat Cave, future interviews, you're welcome to check my Instagram out at Browder_music. It's been real, man.
Yeah.
Great having you in here today.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Appreciate you
even
having
better
us,
to be
man.
here, bro.
Yeah,
Thank you so
man.
much. The pleasure is
Yeah,
all mine.
thank you.
So we're going to end it out with the track Out the Way, unreleased. Hope you enjoy. It's a Beat Cave special. You're listening to WKNC 88.1 FM HD1 Raleigh. Peace out, everyone.
Let's do it.
Hey there, my friend, don't know where you've been. Found a way to be good by myself. After what you said, like we would never end. Well, that just ain't good for my health. It's a pot that just got off the phone. Just got a little caller from Motown. Like, tell me what they wanna know. They heard we shut down the whole town. Don't speak for me, I won't speak for nobody. Your best friend a mess, so I eat up the Molly. Thought she was French, cause she always say we, but I don't need you, baby. No reason to call me. Hop in that shit and say adios. Like, don't be upset when I leave. But ever since I lost what I thought was never gonna end, I just can't feel a lot of you. She told me some shit that I needed to know. Just hit the strip, shawty see me and froze. Look like a king when I'm back in my city. They try to compete, but I'm not one of those. Baby, I'm out the way. It's a place that ain't never been. I can't lie, it feels heaven sent. And it's needless to say, I'm out the way. After all that you had me through, I can't lie, I feel bad for you. And it's needless to say. Bitch, I go to work, I be damned if I lose it all. I don't care about who involved. I try not to get too involved. Cut them off if they telling me this, but you showing me that. Don't think that you'd wanna stay if I ain't had no cash. But I told that girl that I'm on my way. Better get off your ass, cause Potter's coming home tonight. But it won't last, baby, cause I'm out the way. It's a place that ain't